Andrew here from Underground Training, and if you want to talk to somebody that knows how the industry works, the phone number's at the end of the video. Job hunt and mining information video. In today's video, we are going to talk about how the utility job appears to have changed with who the employers are looking to hire. They look like they're going away from hiring Australians and permanent residents and moving in exclusively to using working holiday visa people moving forward. I'm just going to go into the reasons why that appears to be happening, and we'll have a look at a few jobs, and then we'll have a look at where your citizens and your permanent residents should be looking at getting jobs, and that's as surface exploration and hard rock underground. It's the two places that they're full-time work that they need Australians to work. So if you're a citizen or a permanent resident and you're looking for a job, we'll cover that a bit later on. But if you're coming over on a working holiday visa and you've seen one of the many videos that are around telling you to come and selling you a magic resume, and you bought your resume and you're all ready to go and you're going to get your utility job, and you flick over to the utility jobs, you'll see most of the utility jobs are paying about $85,000 a year, and they're not paying any more than that. And if anything, you look at some of the job ads that are going to come up, you're going to see that they're going to go down a little bit. So this one's $85,000 a year. That's about $29 an hour full time. You don't get paid penalty rates on the mine sites. It's all a flat rate. Any of the production mining roles or any of the utility roles, it's all just flat rates. So just remember that. So that's $20 or $29 an hour for that one, and then you'll come down and you'll see a few more. And then, $37 an hour, which looks really good until you see it's casual. So once you move that into a full-time job, you're probably looking at about your $29 an hour for a full-time role like that one when it's full-time. And then you bump down into this one, and that's $27.82 an hour full-time. So that's barely going to be $82,000 a year, and it's going backwards. This only went up 3 days ago. So this is what I think's going on with it. The biggest problem that all these companies had with hiring Australians to do these utility roles is that everybody used to get a utility role thinking it would lead into a production mining role. And then as soon as they find out that it won't lead into a production mining role, that you're basically stuck in the utility role, they quit. So they end up with people coming up, doing 2 or 3 swings, working out that they can't move into a production mining role, and then quitting. So if they move into the working holiday visas, the people on working holiday visas have still been sold that thing that you can go and get a production mining job from a utility job. So they're all still getting the utility jobs thinking that they're going to be able to get a production mining job. But when they find out that they can't get a production mining job, instead of quitting and going back to their normal life, most of them stick out the 6 months, do the 6 months, move on to somewhere else, maybe do another 6 months at the new site, get their money together, and then go on their holiday. And with all these companies, dealing with those people under that scenario is a lot easier than dealing with the permanent residents that are all looking for the production mining jobs and looking to go through your cleaning jobs to get a proper mining job. So that's why I think moving forward, the utility job is going to become the domain of the working holiday visa holder, because the employers are going to be able to have a lot of control over those people. They're going to accept the lower wages, so it's going to go right back down. It'll go close to minimum wage. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see them getting working holiday visa people up there for $26 an hour instead of this, $27.82. Screw it down as much as you can, as close as you can to the minimum wage. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see that happen over the next 6 months, because that's the way it works in mining. That's what they sort of do. And they've got a line a mile long because of all the flash videos going around selling resumes, telling people to get utility jobs. And that's why they've got so many people to choose from. So that's what my feeling on utility work at the moment. So if you were trying to get into the mining industry as a utility worker and you're not on a working holiday visa, you're an Australian, you might want to reassess what you're trying to do and how you're trying to do it. Now, there are a couple of places that they're looking for people. There are 2 places employers have to hire new starters at the moment, and that's surface exploration as drillers offsider, or hard rock underground, nippers, truck operators, service crew, pace crew, diamond driller offsiders, and AGI. They're all places that they need people at the moment. So if we flick over and we have a look at the gold price, the reason that they're looking for those people in exploration and hard rock underground is because of the high gold and copper price. And as you can see, it's well over $5,000 an ounce Australian, which means that there's a lot of work all over the country. And if we flick over to our underground job, if we type underground into Seek, and we'll see all the jobs come up, and you'll see, go through the first page, there's lots of work around. And this is what service crew, basically you're looking at for service crew. Once you get into your second tier role, this will be for an even time roster, you're looking at your 130 to 165,000 a year. That's pretty standard for service crew. But the entry-level roles like nipper and truck, you're looking at about 90,000 for. Diamond drilling, offsiding, the same thing. If you're on a 2-in-1 roster, it'll be just a little bit under 120,000 a year. If you're on an even time roster, it'll be around that $90,000 a year. And then you can work your way up from there. There's entry-level all over the country. This is in Mount Isa in Queensland, Calibre Engineering. They're always looking for people. Nipper in and out of Kalgoorlie. Drill assistants underground in WA and South Australia, and there was one up there for Tasmania before. There's work all over the country. Everybody is looking for people. Nobody wants to hire new starters for these truck driving jobs because they cost a lot of money to put people into those positions, and they go through a lot of people, but everybody's got to. So this is where your jobs are going to be if you are a permanent resident or a citizen. Go and get yourself a mining job to start with. It's really easy. Just sign yourself up for our DIY package, or if you want some help, check out the Workready. You get a shift boss like myself to help prep you. But all the information that you need in the DIY package, the reason we call it DIY is because there's full instructions on how to redo your resume, so you can save yourself a bit of money there. We get you to turn your current resume into a mining-friendly resume that talks directly to the foreman. It's not a resume that you'd be using for anything else or to apply for any other job. We make it very specific for what we do. But the way we help people get jobs is by teaching you how it all works, so you can have a proper conversation with the foreman in the interview. And when you can do that, that's the way you're going to get yourself a job moving forward. I hope you found that information helpful. There's 2 places that they need people at the moment, really. It's surface exploration and hard rock underground. Like I said, the utility jobs nowadays, I think that the employers would be mad to hire anybody but the working holiday visas with the way things are at the moment, and I think that's exactly what they're doing. So if you're trying to get into the industry, you've been sold the line of a utility job as a good way to get into the industry, have a think again. They get thousands of people come into the country every week that are looking for these jobs and are happy to accept these conditions. So just be aware of that. And if you've got any questions you'd like to answered, please send them through. And if you want to check out the training, check it out at undergroundtraining.com.au. Or if you want to talk to somebody that knows how the industry works, the phone number's at the end of the video.